What is meant by the day of the Lord? In 1:15 of Joel, alas for the day of the Lord, all caps Lord, is near. It's always near because it's the next thing facing you. If you should die, then the next thing you face is the resurrection and the judgment. And it's always close because it's really the only important thing in our whole lives. And this day of the Lord, it says in 1:15 of Joel, will come as a destruction from the Pantocrator, the Almighty. Let me tell you that the Almighty is never, ever, ever Jesus. It's always the Father. And in your notes, you'll find that in Revelation 1, verse 8. The Almighty is the Father, God. And that day will come in Joel 1:15 as a destruction then from the Almighty. I won't read any more at the moment, but look at 2 in the same book, chapter 2. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. This is Joel chapter 2. For the day of the Lord is coming. It's near. A day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness. As the dawn is spread over the mountains, so there is a great and mighty people. There's never been anything like it, nor will there be again after it. You'll find then down in 10, before this army, this invading army, invading Israel as it will be, in verse 10 of chapter 2, before them the earth quakes, the heavens tremble, the sun and the moon grow dark, the stars lose their brightness, and the Lord utters his voice before his army, his invading army. Surely his camp is very great. Strong is he who carries out his word. The day of the Lord is indeed great and very awesome. Who can endure it? Pretty difficult to endure. I'm picking up the day of the Lord topic for you here. Chapter 2 of Joel, verse 30. I will display wonders in the sky and on the earth, blood, fire, columns of smoke. The sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before, please note, before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. Is that clear, the sequence? Trying to orientate you into the timetable here. Very clearly, the sun will be turned to darkness, the moon will be turned into blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord. And while you're thinking about that, before the great and awesome day of the Lord, I want you to turn, if you would, to Matthew 24 to orientate ourselves. Matthew 24, verse 29. Jesus was very interested in all of this and preached on it. Immediately after the tribulation of those days that he'd just been describing, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. Where's he quoting from there? The answer is Joel. We just read it, right? So your sense of timetable is well able to cope with this. Immediately following the Great Tribulation, after it, the sun will be dark. That's the day of the Lord. The sequence is absolutely clear. It's not the same thing. The day of the Lord follows the Great Tribulation immediately after. It's most important. Jesus said it. That word immediately there has given commentators a great deal of trouble. In the Old Testament, all the second coming verses are Yahweh verses. We find out in the New Testament that Jesus, representing Yahweh, is going to be coming, uniquely representing God. That's what they looked forward to. Jews always did. What they hadn't seen was that before he comes back in splendor, following the Great Tribulation, he has to suffer and die, and we have to wait. So when Peter says, you're not going to be suffering and dying, heaven forbid, Lord, they're horrified. The disciples were, first of all, until they knew better, horrified by the idea that Jesus had first to die. All they knew and understood was that when the Messiah comes, he rules the world, and he didn't do that. That's all they understood until it was explained to them by further revelation that the Messiah has first to die. And that's why the Jews generally have not accepted Jesus as the Messiah, precisely because he didn't set up his kingdom.